Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything, and continuing in our series of drawing every country in the world's flag. Today, back into Africa, not in the continent, but kind of right off over here, this gigantic island of Madagascar. Madagascar is an island nation off the southwest or southeast coast of Africa. And yeah, it's you probably heard of it from, I believe there was, what was it, a Disney movie, a Pixar movie, one of those. It's definitely one of those countries. It's more known for its biodiversity than really anything as far as like how it acts on the international stage. Madagascar, very large country, believe it or not. You don't really think of it. It's kind of hard to gauge just how big Africa is in reality. So Madagascar, if you stuck it in the United States, it would actually stretch pretty much all the way from New York to Georgia, so like almost the entire eastern coast. That's how big it is. And kind of just due to the geography of it and where it is, it was one of the last land masses to actually be settled by humans. So it's kind of interesting. And yeah, as far as like the biodiversity there, is like I think something like 90% of the animal life that lives on Madagascar is unique to Madagascar. So I don't know if that has anything to do with human settlement arriving, so much later compared to other areas, but yeah, it has that going for it. And again, that was kind of the topic of, was that either a Disney or a Pixar movie, Madagascar. A lot of crazy critters on that island, lemurs and all sorts of weird frogs and burb that you don't see anywhere else in the world. But what can you tell us about the nation of Madagascar, James? Yeah, because I'm not really not a zoologist. I'm a little bit of an amateur historian. So about 350 AD, a lot of people from like what's now known as Indonesia arrive, and then Arabs and Persians discover the island and open it up to trade routes. And actually, Africans from like the actual continent of Africa, they don't arrive on Madagascar until about 1000 AD. So it's not really like a traditional African country. Then, of course, the Africans bring the slave trade there, and then during the much later years, like getting closer to the modern age, it is opened up to colonization, which France does in 1896. So yeah, Madagascar, again, not like a typical African country. It does have a pretty unique group of people that are living there, because again, it was mainly Indonesian, so kind of like these sort of like the same as like the the Aboriginal Australian people. Genetically, they're kind of similar to that, and then with breeding with other peoples over the years, kind of created like a unique race, the Malagasy people, and that's also the language that they speak there. France colonized it, and then they achieved independence in 1960. And yeah, unfortunately, nonstop military coups, instability, a lot of secession movements in Madagascar. And one of the interesting facts about Madagascar on the global stage is that prior to World War II, there was this thing in Germany called the Madagascar Plan. And again, the 1930s, instead of Israel, there was actually a plan to relocate European Jews to the island of Madagascar. And that obviously did not happen, and that had a lot to do with Germany and France being on opposite ends in World War II. France still had Madagascar as a colony at that point, and that also kind of started stoking up independence movements in Madagascar, which, of course, happened a couple decades later. So that's the flag. It's an easy flag. The red means sovereignty, the green means hope, and the white means purity. So that's Madagascar. And if anybody watching this channel knows me, you know that I like to read a lot. Most of the stuff I read is nonfiction. I like to read history. I like to read biographies. So I don't read too much fiction, but I do like to engage in a little bit of historical fiction here and there. So I'm going to do a little bit of an amendment to the Madagascar flag. We're going to give you a little bonus content here. And we're going to play a little bit of what if, right? So again, I usually like to read history, but it's always fun to ask what if. What if something happened differently? How would the world be different? A little alternate history. What would the flag of Madagascar look like if the Madagascar Plan was actually executed? And I think no matter what I say after this point, I'm probably in hot water, but let's get to it. So, what if all the European Jews, well, at least the ones that were in the Germanic states, were relocated to Madagascar instead of Israel, and we didn't have an Israel? Well, that'd be pretty interesting. We'd be living in a completely different world. If would tensions in the Middle East not be as high? If you didn't have all that strife and conflict there with relocating Palestinian peoples, or would the people, the Malagasys of Madagascar, be the new Palestinians? I don't know. Well, they wouldn't really have any neighbors. They'd all be on an island. So geopolitics would be very, very different. So this is my proposed flag of the Zionist state of Madagascar. So it wouldn't be called Madagascar, right? Would it be called Madagasriel or Madajuskar? Or all right, James, you better cut this quick here. That's the proposed flag of the Zionist state of Madagascar. That's the actual state of Madagascar. So I got to get out of here. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video.